Imagine pulling a rusty lever at midnight, watching 50 million gallons of your own lake vanish into the night, while across the water, the self-appointed queen of suburbia shrieks like her empire's crumbling. That's exactly what happened in Sleepy Willow Creek Estates, Pennsylvania, where one quiet engineer turned the tables on a power-hungry HOA tyrant. And oh, the sweet, dark irony when her community progress turned into a muddy grave for her schemes. It started innocently enough, or so it seemed. Jake Harlan, a 45-year-old retired civil engineer, had moved back to his family's old lakeside cabin after losing his wife to illness. The place was his sanctuary, 200 acres of peace, inherited from his grandfather in 1952, complete with a pristine lake fed by ancient springs. Jake kept to himself, fishing at dawn, fixing up the dock his dad built when he was a kid. But whispers started circulating in the neighborhood chats that loner's hoarding the water like it's his personal kingdom. Jake heard the rumors, but said nothing, jotting notes in a worn journal instead, his engineer's mind cataloging every slight. Then came the invasion. One crisp April morning, Jake sipped coffee on his porch when diesel trucks rumbled in, unloading gear along his shoreline. Out stepped Brenda Voss, the HOA president, a plump woman in her 50s with a perpetual scowl, squeezed into a pastel power suit, her voice dripping fake politeness like syrup on poison. "Mr. Harlan," she cooed, clutching a clipboard like a scepter. "We're enhancing this water feature for the greater good. 500 families need backup power. Think of the children." Jake blinked. "This ain't a feature, ma'am. It's my lake. Private property." Brenda's smile curdled. "Progress waits for no one, dear. Our emergency initiative reclassifies it as community assets. Permits approved." She waved a flimsy document, ignoring his protests as workers planted flags on his land. The escalation was absurd, a slow boil of petty tyranny. Fines piled up in Jake's mailbox. $150 for unsightly grass, $300 for non-compliant fence hue, even $400 for unauthorized swimming in restricted hours. Brenda rallied the neighbors at HOA meetings, her voice booming with mock concern. "We can't let one selfish holdout jeopardize our harmony." Rumors flew. Jake was called a recluse eco-terrorist on the community Facebook group. He stayed silent, but inside, he seethed, photographing every violation notice, cross-referencing deeds, and rediscovering his father's hidden gem, a 1968 emergency drainage valve, buried 20 feet deep, designed to empty the lake in hours if needed. Jake's lawyer filed injunctions, but the judge, a golf buddy of Brenda's husband, denied them with a smirk. Community trumps individualism. "Son," Brenda gloated in an email Jake accidentally received, "that bumpkin's done. We'll eminent domain the whole mess." But Jake had patience like a coiled spring. He sent Brenda a certified warning. Structural issues with the water table, shut down now. She signed for it, then tossed it, as a disgruntled HOA insider later confirmed. That Friday, Brenda threw a lavish launch party on the new floating hydro platform, toasting with champagne as turbines hummed, powering the suburb. "To order and prosperity," she beamed, posing with cronies. Jake watched from afar, then suited up in his wetsuit at 11:47 p.m. Underwater, he turned the valve, 3 deliberate twists, and surfaced to the symphony of draining water. Chaos erupted like a bad comedy. The platform tilted, intakes gulping mud, turbines screeching to a halt. 500 homes blinked dark. Brenda arrived in her Mercedes, still in her party dress, waddling through sludge, her face a mask of bulging outrage. "You monster, you've doomed us all," she wailed, heels sinking. Jake emerged calmly. "Nah, just activated my flood control on my land." "You were warned," threw away the letter. "Remember?" Her excuses flew, But the permits, the families. Yet Jake had documented it all: bribery emails, falsified studies, embezzled HOA funds funneled to her shell companies. By dawn, the lake was a mud pit. The $30 million plant a twisted wreck. FBI swooped in. Brenda was cuffed mid-rant. Her empire exposed as a house of cards built on theft. Months later, the lake refilled naturally. Fish returned, and the HOA dissolved amid scandals. Brenda got 8 years for fraud. Her moral high ground buried in mud. Jake sipped coffee on his dock. The water mirror smooth again. Patience and proof had won, turning her lording into laughable ruin. Was Jake a hero for reclaiming his rights? Or a vigilante who went too far? After all, wasn't community progress just another word for entitled greed?